when you sit in for Sean Hannity? Does it sound any different in the earphones?
Can't not think about being on WABC, KABC, WLS, BAP. The funnest part of doing the show every time is I use a BlackBerry, and inevitably, within the first 20 minutes of the show, I'm getting an email from some high school buddy I haven't heard from in 20 years. Or I'm sitting in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, listening to you on da-da-da. And, I heard from people all over the place, and they come in before the show's done. I'm hearing about it literally on the show where they're going on the website or whatever. We have a little website we use, tool that I believe was your idea, called I Agree, I Disagree.
Oh, yeah, right.
On our website. And I was getting emails from Hannity listeners on that. So they had, I said Scott Hennen from WDAY in Fargo, North Dakota, which caused them to go find that on the website, find WDAY.com on the web, and all of a sudden they're maneuvering around our Hot Talk, web page, and they're sending me notes through the platform of our local website. So,
beyond the sheer reach of a national show like that, what I hear when I hear you do the show is a welcome for a strange voice that I think really speaks volumes about the affinity Sean has with his listener. The fact that you're allowed to be there, people seem willing to give you a chance. They'll hear you out.
Yeah, and they do. And what I'm always amazed, they refer to you by name. Hey Scott, how you doing? Nice job. Glad you're filling in for Sean. Whatever. Obviously he's got a loyal audience, and I think that it does. It kind of gives you. And I felt that every time I've done the show, where they really kind of feel embraced by people, whereas I would think as a Sean Hannity fan, I go, who's this Yahoo in the radio, boom, I'm gone. But they seem to be, they like it, they're engaged, and as long as we're hitting the fun topics and getting something that's pushing their buttons, they seem to join in, and the phones are lit up nonstop the whole time, and they screen the show pretty tight, just to have people that come on that are talking about what we're talking about. But it's a good audience.
As much of a privilege as it is to do a big show like that, it's pretty handy for them to have a go-to guy like you. If Sean's car won't start, he can't get to the station, they could always call you, and they'd never suspect that you were out there disconnecting his spark plug wires, right?
I'm always amazed because there's a pretty good roster of talent at WABC, obviously, and Mark Simone and some others have done the show. They have Curtis from the morning show do it once in a while as well, and they're obviously right in the building, and I'm sure logistically, rearranging the schedule isn't always that easy, but at WABC they got a pretty good bench, you know what I mean, and yet...
But you play the heartland aspect, that you're out here in the real world, and it seems to resonate with his audience.
Yeah, and that's been fun, because, they've never said don't do that, or, play that down, or whatever. I mean, I talk up WDAY, legendary radio station for 85 years here in the heartland, and my listeners that I talk to every day are in North and South Dakota and Minnesota, and in fact, we've done a thing the last two times I've done the show. I'll play on Sean's regular segment with his man on the street, and if you've ever listened to that, you wonder if the people that they find in the streets of Manhattan have two brain cells that rub together, and because who's the president? Is it Jimmy Carter? They're out to lunch. Meanwhile, we're asking our listeners, what's the difference between a Sunni and a Shia, and they get it.